In this video, can we get 2 Paragons in a Chimps game? Also, if you read the name of the map, we're going to be setting ourselves an additional challenge. Only have this single tower perform a 1 tower Chimps, all the way up to the end of round 100, and then we're going to go with the 2 Paragons challenge from there. Spiker Pulse is active now. Our darts have turned into these spiky balls that can ricochet off all of these walls. If Ninja Kiwi were to ever make an official map that would fully cater to the Ultra Juggernaut, it would completely remove all Ultra Juggernaut records from the Bloons Tower Defense 6 index. Because like with Sorda and I was going to say Jirachi there from Pokemon, Geraldo, with those 2 tower chimps, they were completely removed because of the fact that they were 1 tower chimpable before they were nerfed. The road to destruction has begun. Now we can target both camos and leads. Our next objective is to save up 16,200 for the Ultra Juggernaut. The top half Duck Monkey is really map dependent on how powerful it can be. If it's a very open map, then it is really weak. But if it's a very closed off map, like let's say with this custom map, it is very powerful. Now, this map is probably the only threat that we have here, but again, it didn't really make it that far. So this is the second nerd, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. You can work your way up until 50, which is over here, which is where the end of the track is. Round 42, you are able to afford your Ultra Juggernaut. I know it's round 43, but we were able to get the money together, and you saw this go green on round 42. Round 50, Moabs, no threat whatsoever. The power of this is relied upon its ricochet and its huge amount of pierce per main ball, and per ball that breaks off from the main ball of the Ultra Juggernaut. BFB, no issue. The Juggernaut is probably the cheapest tower that you can put down on the entire field, which can pop any kind of balloon whatsoever. That's just with the Juggernaut's default attack, not like any abilities and stuff like that. Otherwise, Sorda would be the cheapest tower. And Corvus still needs to level up several more levels before we can get Trample. One thing I want to do this year in 2024 is to become much better at this game. As in, be able to do intermediate maps, advanced maps, and expert map chimps. And not just be able to do them comfortably, but to do like 2 Megapop scenarios, and in only very limited scenario 2 tower chimps sort of stuff. Because 2 tower chimps is far more difficult than a 2 Megapops, because with the 2 Megapops you can spend as much money as you like, but with a 2 tower chimp scenario you can only spend with what the 2 towers has to offer. Do you have something that you have planned to achieve throughout 2024, or maybe it's just one continuous ongoing project or ambition that you have throughout many years? In fact, maybe it's something that you've always been working on, and this year it might be one step closer to where you're able to realize that dream of yours. And there goes that ceramic wave as well. It's honestly not much worth showing you those ceramic waves around 78 with this particular setup, because this map is very, very catered for this one particular tower. Everything is very closed off, and all of these projectiles, for the most part, for some odd reason, a projectile is able to wiggle out of the hedges here, but for the 99% most part, stuff like that, the projectiles are able to stay inside this triangle here. A triangle is also a way of being able to use as few nodes as possible to be able to complete a closed off area. Eventually it will be popped, and when it pops just like that, it is magnificent. Once it goes down in stages, the rest should be simple. 2 ZOMGs. 1 ZOMG down. 2 ZOMGs and their innards down. 4 ZOMGs. You know what I'm gonna say next? But I'm not gonna say. Well, since they're all nice and bunched up, that means that the ZOMG layer, is able to be popped that bit more quickly. Because the focus of the firing from the Ultra Juggernaut is able to ricochet and then be able to more likely hit a ZOMG. Just like what you saw. Oh, speaking of ZOMGs, 2 more have decided to feel that they can come in with their 2% extra health and speed and think that they can get away from this near endless triangle maze sort of thing. Can you believe sometimes that the biggest threat to a particular tower is not the amount of balloons, but how spaced out that they can be? Well, in this triangle, there's no such thing as escape from my balls. I'm talking about these Ultra Juggernaut balls. How dare you ever consider that I am thinking such grotesque imagery? How dare ye? Sharks abound and defeated. Did you know that this does bonus damage against lead balloons? And what is a DDT? It's a lead balloon. And sometimes they are also fortified. Not too sure if the bonus damage is stacked depending on how many different type of properties it does bonus damage to. So in this case, if it's a fortified ceramic, does it do 2 layers of extra damage? Or if it's a fortified lead or a fortified DDT, do those 2 out of 3 properties do extra damage? I'm not too sure. More DDTs? More no issues to deal with. Every wizard's worst nightmare. Purple balloons. But guess what? This tower can damage any kind of balloon except a balloon that is not on screen. But guess what? All these DDTs completely crushed. There's only 2 ways in which your suffering will end, balloons. Number 1, you exit this maze. Number 2, you let my Ultra Juggernaut dispatch you of your existence. Also, this shouldn't take as long as it looks because of the fact we do fortified damage against balloons. Sorry, bonus damage against fortified balloons. Fortified damage against balloons. What am I even saying? Unless it's Christmas, the top hats stay for forever for Flare Balloons channel. Fortified DDTs, not a single bit of issue in this enclosed space. They went down more quickly than the regular Moabs did now. The bad. One day, we will pop this bad. Well, the fins have been bandaged. The whale bad is the easiest one to show what stage of its health it is at because of the bandages. But the Pinata bad is the most satisfying one to pop because of the sound effect that it emits when you pop it. Well, we've achieved 2 mega pops, and soon we will have all of the pops. There goes the DDT, which was probably the thing that would have worried me the most actually. Sometimes it's not the bad that kills you, but it's the DDTs that spawn out of a bad. If a bad is close to the exit, the DDTs just make a beeline to the exit. Can we do this? Can we do the impossible 1TC? That is the Ultra Juggernaut. And honestly, if Ninja Kiwi ever made a map that would have this amount of track length in an enclosed space, the Ultra Juggernaut would be the first non-hero tower to be able to do a 1TC on its own. And that is game. Yep, that is the first objective completed, which is a 1TC. But now, it's time for a Paragon or 2. Now we have big shoes to fill, because we need to save up 162,000 for the Apex Plasma Master. And to be honest, that is going to be a very difficult feat to accomplish, even with our almighty Ultra Juggernaut here. By the way, the only reason why the Boomerang Monkey is here is simply because of placements. Obviously, the majority of the pops will be from these 3 Dark Monkeys here. But this is a clue for the second Paragon that we're going to build down. Because obviously, These two particular kind of towers here at this given point in time are the cheapest Paragons to be able to build. We are missing out about 4,000 by putting down another 19 Dark Monkeys, but the simple reason for us putting them down is so that we can fully utilize this particular Dark Monkey's Plasma Monkey Fan Club ability. And also it helps towards the Dark Paragon anyways. Holy DDTs, there are lots of DDTs. Activate it again for even more firepower, although I think we should go quick shot, send in the one after that as well. The Plasma Monkey Fan Club is also a good way if you're really worried about the DDTs on the field, because it is literally is an insta-kill button for the DDTs if you feel like they're going to go too far along the track. And I'll just paraphrase myself there. No thank you DDTs, would you stop trying to speedrun to the exit please? We are over 3/4 of the way to the Apex Plasma Master. And when we get to our time here, it's going to be incredibly more smooth and, well, hopefully we'll be able to get much further with that. Rather than feel I'm going to struggle here. So, Ultra Juggernaut, 4.6 million. Crossbow Master, nearly 1.3 million. We've set this to strong so that it targets the DDTs whenever they're on the field, hopefully. And of course, this is very dependent on where they are on the field. So yeah, let's just do that. And then, yeah, the DDTs will be squashed in no time. Oh, great. More fortified DDTs. Just when you thought you've had enough of me, well, here comes more speedrunners. Every speedrunner in gaming history is a DDT. Flare Bloons 2024. 119 presents 3 bads, but still 3 bads does not mean 3 times the trouble. It just means 3 times the number of pops that we can get in a round. And all these pops contributes towards our Paragon. And the money as well, don't forget the money. This is the last bad of this round, and let's just completely decimate it by using our Plasma Monkey Fan Club. If you put all of these together, then obviously they would be more powerful than the Ultra Juggernaut and or the Crossbow Master, but by default, these two are far stronger than the Plasma Monkey Fan Club or their other ones here. See how quickly they gain lots of pops when they are activated in their plasma form. But they're not always going to be like that. You know what, I've decided to give myself an extra condition. We need about 19 or 20 tier 3 towers to help contribute towards the Paragon here. This will make it just a tad bit more expensive, but it will mean that our Paragon will be that bit more powerful because of the price contribution towards the Paragon outside of the side in which you would normally contribute towards the Paragon to anyways. And with that, it instantly mows up the Moabs in the triangle, or most of them that were in the triangle anyways. Still, these fortified ZMGs are no joke. They have a lot of health to them. I have some bad news. Our unupgraded boomerang has stolen 6,300 pops. This might require a restart. Saving the Plasma Monkey Fan Club for heavy DDT induced rounds is a top priority to get to 162,000. I know I spent a fair bit of money on all of these extra Dark Monkeys, but I feel like it's going to be well worth it. There are so many fortified ZOMGs on this round. The damage is delicious. We are so close to the Apex Plasma Master. It's gonna be so glorious when we get it. We are so close. Just 400 more. Come on. Why do we earn so little in the late game? Hey, dearie me. There it is. Oh gosh. Look at this. A level 74 Apex Plasma Master. And now for the boomerang to make its debut as a Paragon. At some point, definitely not this round. Our survival chances going on from now on will depend on what balloons spawn on these rounds, because after round 140, aside from round 163 and 200, and I believe 263 as well, every single round from now on has a randomly generated number of balloons that spawn around. So your version of round 152 will most likely have a different set of balloons that will spawn out from the start of the track in comparison to my round 152. The irregular bad is not making a full lap around the triangle, so we are still perfectly comfortable when it comes to our chances of survival here, because it's got to be able to go around the entire triangle 17 times before it gets to this point over here. In comparison to every other round in the hundreds, this is a incredibly boring and very financially stupid round. Like, we barely got any money throughout the entire round because of the fact that we earn so little money in free play. We have the money for the Moab domination now, which is one of the 3 tier 5s of the boomerang monkey. The more bads that spawn out, the more money that we get early game. So if there are more bads that spawn out on a round, that's a good thing, because that's our main source of income, the bad and all of the ZMGs that spawn inside them. But obviously if you have a huge flock of ZMGs, then that is also equally as good. All these DDTs, they are huge threats to us, but they also do not provide any money for a lot of money for us whatsoever. Also, 2 or 3 tier 5s of the boomerangs acquired here. Pop count update. Our Morglaives has 68 near enough thousand pops. Our permacharge that we just got is now at 270,000 pops. Our Moab domination has nearly 1.2 million pops. Any other towers on the field to consider? Oh yeah, this one, 116 million upcoming pops. Right, round 200 is the mark of the round where we are guaranteed fortified bads throughout the rest of the game here. Past round 200, you are guaranteed to encounter fortified bads, which is not good. The only thing it's good for is accumulating towards our pop count for our boomerangs here. But when it comes to everything else, these are such tough buggers to pin down. Like, it takes twice as the amount of hits to get one of these down as it would do for a regular bad. Progress report. We are 1/6 of the way to getting the glaive dominus. 1/6 of the way. Is this gonna be enough? Are you gonna be enough? Don't spawn too often fortified bads. Just the regular bads will do, thank you. Fortified ZMGs are good. DTs are good for some quick money. Progress report. We're now 1/5 of the way to the glaive dominus. Progress report. We're 1/3 of the way to getting the glaive dominus. I swear it was like 170 or so, but we were 1/6 of the way, so I don't know when we're going to be able to get it, or if we can get it. We've been at this for 1 hour and 35 minutes now, and we've just hit the halfway mark to getting the glaive dominus. We are now 100k away until we can afford the glaive dominus. But I honestly think our success will depend on how many fortified bads will spawn out at any given point in time now. Because I honestly feel like that they are making it towards the 70% mark towards the end of the track, which is not good. Oh my gosh, we are ended. Honestly feel like it depends on luck when it comes to a Fortified BADs, honestly, because like the DDTs are the things that ends us here, honestly. Yeah, I think this challenge is dependent on luck and being able to get enough non-fortified BADs in order to actually get enough money in order to do this in. But yeah, we got to 206k, like just over 90k left in order to actually get the Glaive Dominus. But even if we didn't buy all those darts, we would not have anywhere near enough to be able to get to that point. So is this challenge doable? I think it definitely is, but I just think that Ninja Kiwi needs to increase the amount of nodes that a map can have so that you're able to have enough points on a map so that then you'll be able to get 2 Paragons in a Chimps game. I would probably think that in a situation where a max sacrifice support sun god or some temple would be able to initiate enough money, enough bonus damage acquired from non-Paragon towers before update 39, I believe it was, to be able to get 2 Paragons down. But that, folks, is my attempt at this. I'm only going to try and attempt to do this once because we're in 1 hour 50 minutes into recording. I'd rather not try and do this again, just to try and get RNG on my side here. So we've got over 9 million with our Moab domination, near 6 million with our permacharge, and this is a surprisingly good one actually. They're 5.5 million. I expected this to be much worse, but this was a very good tower. I expected this to be much better because of the fact that this is probably the strongest one per DPS or per throw against a set of balloons per second, really, when it comes to the DPS per the amount of shots that it fires out. So I think this challenge is definitely possible, but it just depends on your RNG, because I believe that each time you load into a game, the rounds are set after round 140 when it comes to the balloons that spawn out of that round. So it doesn't matter how many times you restart, let's say this round, in that particular game, you're always going to get those balloons spawned out, those set of balloons, that amount of balloons, in that order as well. So thank you all so much for watching. This was not a success, but in a way it was, because we got a 1TC going on here with the Ultra Juggernaut. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the video. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Happy New Year, everybody, and take care of yourselves.